right, welcome back to One Bar and Lupagus Show. I am Lupagus. The Minnesota Vikings released 2 players today, and they have 1 more to go before they get down to the 85 limit. They have to hit by Tuesday afternoon. We are going to jump into that, talk about who they cut and who may be next on the old shopping block. Before we get into that, be sure to drop hashtag 4000 in the comments for your chance to win a lovely Minnesota Vikings jersey of your choice. So yeah, hashtag 4000. We are climbing to get to 4K, and we cannot wait. All right. So Minnesota Vikings today released kicker Riley Patterson and wide receiver Blake Crowell. Both these guys have been dinged up. Patterson was a little bit surprising. I know Greg Joseph had a solid day against the Broncos, one of the few Vikings who actually did. But there was rumors, or actually maybe it was even said that he was going to get most of the kicking duties in game 2. Obviously, that is not going to happen. Maybe his injury is more severe than led on. But it would have been nice to see this kid at least get a shot, get his game to try to kick in an NFL setting with the game time situations, pressures, and everything that goes into that on the line. But we're not going to see that. Greg Joseph is the Vikings kicker as of now. It does not mean the Vikings will not bring in somebody else to compete with him. They certainly could definitely do that. They could also ride him out and then see what's available on the waiver wire if he begins to get shaky here at the end of the preseason. We'll see what happens. So Blake Crowell released with the injury designation. I would assume that he's probably going to get re-signed to the physically unable perform list or IR, whatever the hell it's got to be. It's got to be one of those two. So I think he will probably end up sticking with the Vikings. I don't know if anybody's going to actually go out there and claim him on waivers. So once he clears, expect him to go the Twyman route and stick around with the Vikings in our season as he heals up and gets better, because he showed something in camp. Solid hands, good route running ability. I like this Blake Crowell, and I hope he definitely has a future with the Vikings. So who is going to be next? They have to cut one more guy to get down to the limit of 85 by tomorrow afternoon. And, that's kind of the big question. Who is it going to be? Who could it be? Well, there's a lot of options. There really is. Let's just look at a few of the hot names. I think everybody wants it to be Dakota Dozier, and why it's not, I don't know. Seriously, this guy is horrible. He graded out at 20-something for his performance against the Broncos, playing against backups where he's supposed to be one of the starters out there. I don't know. It ain't going to happen because he's out there with the twos again today. So if you're wishing it's Dakota Dozier, it may happen this preseason. It ain't going to happen tomorrow. Dakota Dozier will stick with this team. One guy I do think is probably a very hot candidate for that is Nate Stanley, quarterback from Iowa. This guy's just fallen way behind. Doesn't get a sniff. He had the whole COVID situation where he had to sit out. You rarely see him or hear anything about him. I feel like Danny Etling, who was just signed a week ago, is already ahead of him on the depth chart. So Nate Stanley wouldn't surprise me at all if it's him. Let's see who else would be a likely candidate. You just got to go down the depth chart. I mean, Mari Henderson, Perry Nickerson, a couple corners down there. I haven't heard much out of either one of those. If it was one of them, it wouldn't shock anybody. Mari Henderson, probably more likely. Look at linebacker Christian Ellis down the depth chart. Defensive tackle Jordan Scott could be somebody who gets let go. It could also be maybe a veteran player that the Vikings maybe realize they're not going to keep, whether that's an Amir Abdullah, a Jalen Holmes, somebody like that, just to give those guys a chance to catch on with somebody else. So those, I think, really are the strong candidates. We'll see who that ends up being. But right now, Riley Patterson Gonzo, Blake Crowell Gonzo, and we'll see who else. So, all right, that's it. That's your Minnesota Vikings. Who they cut, who's next, little segment here, a little something to tie you over until some bigger talkers begin to happen. Until those do happen, be sure to keep your skull in your hole.